Welcome to the Good But Not Soft podcast. Ronald here. I'm one of the co-hosts, and we have our founder,
Woo!
Ben. Or Benjamin?
Whatever.
Ben. Our other co-host, Josh, is not with us, and so you'll probably see him again on our next episode, and you probably won't see me because we have something really nice set up for the next episode.
And Ron's boring and couldn't make it.
Yeah. But we are happy to be back. Happy to see you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Josh is in Colorado, and again, streaming. I think this is like the second time that we've done a podcast without him, and he's online streaming video games. And we're here, having to carry things without him. Because, who's going to carry the boats?
Exactly.
But you might notice some little different scenery. We, to be able to get this one recorded, I'm going out of town next week. We kind of had to do this spur of the moment, or next week, tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
Through next week. And so, we kind of needed one recorded on the spur of the moment. So we are recording on a Wednesday night at church. After church.
Yeah, after church. Yeah, let's say that.
We're recording during church.
Not during service, after service. The people are already gone.
Or are they?
Yeah, right.
We have a large audience, totally.
Yeah, a live audience. You guys.
A live audience of like 80 chairs.
Yeah.
But, so we don't really have much of a topic today. Because of being a spur of the moment podcast. So I was searching for something to talk about, and I came across something the other day that was kind of fascinating, and I just wanted Ron's take on this. Let me get my phone really quick. I'll throw this picture up on whenever I edit. This is a picture of the summit of Mount Everest. And in this picture, there's a long line of people climbing up it. But there's a red circle.
Nice.
And in that red circle is a somewhat, I don't know if you'd say famous, infamous person lies there. And
I know what you're talking about.
he made it to the summit of Mount Everest and never made it down. And I saw that and was like, I want to see what Ron has to say about it, what he thinks.
Is that the guy who is, I think they say he's like a mile marker up?
There are multiple.
Oh, there are multiple. Okay.
So it costs a minimum of like $20,000 to go retrieve somebody whenever they don't make it.
Oh.
So in a lot of cases, they don't get them. In some places, they cannot get them.
Yeah, just because it's so high up or dangerous.
Or if they fall down, big crevasse or anything.
Gotcha.
And so, this is very fascinating because he made it. Like, he had this dream of climbing a mountain.
Man.
The mountain. And he made it to the top and never got back to the bottom.
So, few things. This doesn't look as cold.
I mean,
as it really is. Two, I didn't realize that. Like, is this several parties or is this just one party?
I'm not sure on this picture.
This particular
there
picture,
are
there's just
multiple pictures. So I've seen videos
so
of people
many
passing
people.
by that person and stuff, and it'll be groups of 2 or 3, and then that's a very large group.
For whatever reason, I just imagine in my mind that it was just dangerous climb, and
I mean, it is.
4 or 5 people could go at a time or something, or would even dare go at a time. But this is just like
It is, yeah. I mean, it is a highly dangerous climb.
yeah.
But I mean, to an extent, there is safety in numbers, so
True
that is a benefit.
Now it's just dangerous because of one, the slipperiness of it. I would imagine.
I'll say just climbing a mountain in general. I mean, you're high up, you fall, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's really cold, so easy to freeze to death. I can't remember the exact numbers, but like if it's 0 degrees out and the wind is the real kicker, like that's what gets people.
Oh yeah.
And on a mountain, wind is much stronger on a mountain, or there's less obstructions because you're at the top.
Yeah.
And so Like,
And it moves way faster up there.
you might not think is, it'd be like, oh, this is cold. If there's enough wind, you can go hypothermic fast if you're not, bundled and layered correctly and all that. And so I saw this and was very fascinated by it.
Yeah. I think
it's like he had this goal, and technically he achieved it, but at the cost of his life.
Yeah. And that's good Manasseh right there. I think, and I'm sure, or I would imagine, he weighed the cost.
Probably.
And to him, he made the conclusion that, one, it was worth it with the risk, right? High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
To him, it was worth it for the risk. But I'm pretty sure, let's just say the odds of him not making it was, I don't even know, 40, 50%? What would you say?
I'm not sure. I know it's very high that you won't make it.
Just with you being well equipped, it's really high.
Yeah.
And so
I've climbed mountains, nothing to that size, that are, it's a sketchy climb, and if, you trip and fall, it could end very badly, but nothing to that level. And then it's also like, it was cold. It was below freezing, but just below freezing where I was at.
Oh, I see.
Not like, that level cold. And it was
negative.
it was a 1,300 footer.
Okay.
13,000, not 100. That'd be
yeah.
It'd be like one of our Oklahoma mountains.
Yeah.
13,000. So it's a good sized mountain, but that was a couple hour day trip. A couple hours up, back down, and that alone, like I said, as long as you keep your footing and stuff, you're gonna be fine. But there is a chance even in something like that. That's pretty simple, that you won't make it if you mess up. So you can go climbing something like Everest, and the stakes are much higher.
Yeah. And there's several emotional rewards, right, of knowing you climbed Everest, but when you look at all the things, there's not that many, besides maybe a medal someone could give you. But the risk, I don't know. I'll say this. I don't know if I would ever want to climb knowing the level of risk there.
Yeah.
Even if I got the physique and health needed, and even if I had all the equipment in the world and the Navy SEALs were going with me, I still...
Fun fact, SAS, the British Special Forces, drawing a blank on what their full acronym is. What the acronym stands for. Special Air Service or something like that. Anyways, they're the elites of the British military. Some say they are the most elite unit in the world.
Oh, really?
And they frequently would train climbing Everest. And they frequently lose multiple guys on each trip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they still
the best of the best, and
yeah,
they fairly commonly, it's fairly common for them to not make it back down with a couple guys.
Wow. And that's just for training.
Yeah. Because the mountains I've climbed and stuff, climbing one last year, it was, there was snow, but climbing, these rocky paths and everything, you're climbing something like Everest, there'll be places where there'll be huge cracks in the ground, and you'll be covered over with, lots of snow, and one person might even make it across, and then the second, third person, it might give out and fall through. And there's a lot of hidden dangers as well.
It's yeah.
It is insane.
I want to skydive, and even that is ooh, it's all right, what are the odds of my parachute not working?
That's why you got a reserve chute.
Well, what are the odds of my reserve not working? And even that's up in the air for me.
See, I I don't know about Everest, but I'd sooner climb a very large mountain before jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, you're at least on the ground.
Like, I don't like heights, but like mountain stuff does, like that doesn't bother me. I believe it's Seven Falls or whatever. Yeah, in Colorado.
Oh yeah, we went there.
There's like a large staircase you can climb up. This big metal staircase, and like I couldn't do it. I could stand up on the cliffs and look over the edge, but like that staircase, like this man-made staircase, like you feel it because there was a lot of people. It was busy.
Yeah.
Like you can feel this staircase bounce like in time with all the people walking on it. So I'm walking, I'm just like, nope.
I didn't realize
I got like to the first little flight and turned around, went back.
Nice.
Very slowly.
Yeah. Joanna and I went to Seven Falls during our honeymoon, and it was raining when we went. So
it was sprinkling a little bit whenever we went.
Going up, I was like, babe, this is slippery. But it wasn't as slippery, crazy. But going down, I was like, Joanna, stay behind me. If something happens, like, I'll stop and I'll, like, hold the water back, be a dam. But
Ron's gonna be doing that whole Captain America scene on the helicopter.
Exactly. Yeah, and there was only one way up and one way down.
I mean, there's two ways down.
Yeah, one preferred way up and down.
One's a little less comfortable.
It was really beautiful, though. We got up there, kept walking. We saw all these bear signs, and if you see a bear, these are the things you do. We were hoping to see a bear, but we didn't see a bear, sadly. And then we got to the top, and just so scenic. It's so beautiful. So it was the summer, so everything was green still. And it was Colorado, so it wasn't as hot as it was here in Oklahoma. So that was a big one.
Yeah, there's something about, going up in the mountains in like Colorado in June and there's snow.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. Back in Denver, I was wearing a T-shirt. Up here, I need a jacket.
Yeah. Eric has told me a few times that his in-laws have gone skiing in June, I think. So I was like, wow, well.
Yeah. Here it's like we might get snow in, January, maybe. But then like when we do, it's either like not enough to stick or we get a ton of it.
Yeah.
So unpredictable.
Which thankfully this year we got a few. I think in January we got a few.
So we got a few good storms.
Yeah. Then we got a few potential storms that weren't storms, but me being a high school teacher, got school off, so that was fun.
Now it's just tornadoes, which we're getting out of that.
Which is not fun at all.
Then it'll start back up in a few months.
I thought we were done in April or June.
So once it starts cooling down again for the fall, later summer.
Is it like an intense tornado season like spring?
Spring's usually when they're worse. But it's created whenever, you have the cold and warm weather mixing and stuff. So fall.
Oh.
And I mean, they can happen throughout summer as well, but spring is kind of the main time for it.
Well, I don't want to live through 2 tornado seasons a year.
Yeah, Ron does not enjoy tornadoes.
It's not fun. Yeah, I'm from Florida, and in Florida, you have hurricanes, and you get the nice warnings of, hey, you have all these months to prepare, and you might get 2 or 3 hurricanes maybe a year.
Thing is, it still won't always, go exactly where they say.
Yeah, true that. But here in Oklahoma...
But there is some advanced warning.
Yes. Well, more advanced than the tornadoes here.
I say tornado, it's like, we're having bad storms today. Yeah. Watch out. Watch the weather. If you're not paying attention, go 0 to 60 in a second.
Mm-hmm. And so this year, we've had 100 tornadoes so far recorded. Yeah. So there are some that they couldn't even record because of rain and all the things that may have clouded it. So, yeah, I think I like my one hurricane.
Well, we had one this year that was potentially one of the largest that most of our, I mean, we had storm chasers from all over the country here for these storms. But I mean, the Oklahoma storm chasers are some of the most experienced. And
Top grade.
they, it was one of the largest ones they said that they had ever seen. But it only got rated as an EF1 because it didn't hit anything. And the rating system is based off of damage. So if it doesn't hit anything and cause damage, then it doesn't get a high rating.
Really?
It was a huge tornado.
So I wonder how many would be EF. Are we up to 4 or 5?
So so we've only had, I think, 4s this year. I don't think we've had any 5s.
But the rating scale, is it just the
Yeah,
highest?
5 is, I think, the biggest. So
Gotcha. And that's just because, I mean, what would make a 6?
I don't know.
You know, like
A storm that hasn't happened here.
yeah.
And we already make history in Oklahoma. So,
I guess so.
so we've had, I think, 2 that have gone the wrong way this year.
Really?
There's-
Like against
Yeah.
natural? I mean, they're not
'Cause-
natural. Against.
I mean, they are natural, but it's not. Yeah, normally it goes, east or west to east, and it went opposite, east to west.
Wait, I always thought they went south to
Well, so they kind of come up
east.
from south, like they kind of move it, kind of a southwest to northeast trajectory,
Yeah,
kind of at
yeah.
an angle. And so these ones
Like, that's the
went
normal
back.
route.
Yeah.
And these
And so
went
sometimes they'll go hard east, and sometimes they'll go more
They-
north, but these ones went
northeast to
back
south.
to west. And so they traveled west. And yeah,
That doesn't make things fun.
it complicates things a little bit
not
when you're
only-
chasing a storm.
Not only do you have tornadoes that could just show up on a Tuesday, now you have tornadoes that do not follow the natural path of, hey, this is where this is heading. If you're in the way, get out. Now it's like, we don't know where this is headed.
Yeah.
Just don't be in Oklahoma. That's kind of what I've concluded here
They say only like
during tornado season.
I think it's like 0.1% will do that. And I believe they say 2.1%, and we've had 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this year. Which,
So
if we've had
that-
100 on record, would actually be 2% of our tornadoes so far
Yeah.
this year have not obeyed their normal rules.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
I know one night we had a tornado watch that turned into a warning because there were. No, it was a warning that turned into a watch. That's the route.
warning's the higher level.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was a watch that turned into a warning.
Yeah.
And we were in a bunker underground. We were going to come to this very church, but Joanna was like, I want to be in a bunker underground, not just with something that we could be in the air with. And we were there, and it was a pretty intense night. Like, we were on the phone, and I was just like, all right. Yeah, anyways.
I've lived through enough of them. I'm probably way too desensitized to it. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
I mean, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't, My place, if, the winds get strong enough, I think it'll, tear it down. We don't even need a tornado.
Yeah, I guess
So,
yeah.
we don't even need that. We get high enough winds, it might blow over.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The
I
only
said
the only other thing I think that would be tremendously scary is an earthquake.
Yeah.
Because it literally, like, the ground cracking open underneath you. Now, I only have Hollywood ideas of earthquakes. I don't know if this actually happened. I guess a tsunami would be crazy.
Yeah.
Just a tower of water coming before you. Yeah,
The thing
I guess
about
that would be crazy.
And
So many
earthquakes
things.
are severe ones are so few and far between. Like, they happen, but like proper infrastructure and stuff, like now, like how they build
Okay,
things, the
yeah.
more prone, severe level earthquake prone areas. So, places like California and stuff.
Yeah, they have the structure.
Like they, they build up their infrastructure more
Yeah.
to prevent it. And so it takes a very, strong earthquake to bring them down.
Okay.
And so it's so few and far between. Whereas, I mean, like you said, we've had, over 100 recorded tornadoes in our state alone. And any one of those could destroy a house, if they hit them.
Yeah, I'm trying to process, like, being in a tornado and being sucked up and shot out somewhere. Who knows, Timbuktu.
I would love to build something like the Dominators.
Yeah, and just...
Reed Timmer, for any of y'all who don't know. Probably, if you're watching this, you know who he is. Way more popular and famous than we are. He has these storm-chasing vehicles that can withstand the winds and
pretty
all the stuff of a tornado and can drive inside, or he can let them ride over him. And they are awesome. I would love to do that. I would go ride out a tornado. I almost unintentionally did once last year. I almost got hit by 2.
What's that story?
Was at school for EMT.
Oh, okay.
Doing evening classes, and tornadoes happen at night, but it's less common at night, later at night. And the other problem is with later evening ones is also at that point a lot of times a lot of people don't pay attention. Be it, they're falling asleep or just winding down for the evening, whatever. Because this was 9, 10 o'clock, something like that in the evening. And we were in this building. And we knew there were bad storms.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's they're heading right for us. And so they were tracking, they were going to hit the building. So they're like, all right, go into
the building you're in.
Yeah.
It's going to be at.
And so they're like, go into the bathroom. They're like, that's the tornado safe place, blah, blah, blah. We get in there, and then the instructor gets a call. And, so there's this tornado, we're all hunkered down and stuff. And, it's barreling right down for us. Instructor gets a call and is like, where are y'all at? And he's like, we're in the bathroom. That's where they said to go. And they're like, so there was a mix-up. That building is not rated at all. And they're like, that bathroom is on an outside wall. That building, and so this particular building, it's huge hallway. The hallways are almost as big as this sanctuary wide.
Oh, and it's just
massive hallways.
Yeah.
And it's a big L, and then there's classrooms, down each side of the hallway. And the bathrooms are on one side and whatever. And so it's if you're in the bathroom, you're in an outside wall. If you're in the hallway, you're just in the giant open area with massive windows and doors.
Yeah.
And they're like, that building is not rated whatsoever. It's a metal building. So, we're like, well, I guess. And he's like, well, y'all don't have to stay in the bathroom now. He's like, but we really can't go outside. It's about to hit us. So we're all just standing in the hallways.
And your mom
just waiting for it. Oh, yeah. Freaking out. And so we're just waiting for it. And goes right by. And there's another one tracking. It just missed us. I kid you not.
Wow.
It went right out, just past the building.
How many feet you think?
Feet isn't whatever, because if it's, within feet, it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
But other side of the parking lot, type deal. And it just went by. And so, the building was getting hit by, tons of debris. And then it's there's another one coming. Same thing, tracking right for us. And so at this point, we're all like, well, we're just going to ride it out in this building. We don't really want to leave. Like he said, he's the instructor's like, y'all are all adults. Y'all can make up your mind if you want to go or not between the two. And we're
so
like,
it
kind of
got
like,
to that point.
We're like, because legally he wasn't supposed to let us go, for the school's legal whatever. But he's like, I'm not going to stop you from leaving. Y'all are adults. If we get hit, it's going to be bad. If you leave and we don't get hit, it's just I messed up, type deal.
Yeah.
Nobody died.
Yeah.
Or they made their own choice and died. If they did get caught up in it. And so there was a couple people who left, but most of us are just it's not much better going out.
Yeah.
And so we're literally this tornado's coming. We're standing out in the halls and stuff. a few of us went outside for a minute because it's just like, I mean, we're no worse off outside than we are inside. And
Like it was that ungraded.
And so we were like, well, so we were like watching it and stuff. And so then like, you know, it comes through and same thing, just misses us on the other side. Wow. So one went right on one side of the place and the other one went right on the other side. Destroyed all kinds of things. Like it destroyed the mall, destroyed all, you know, these restaurants.
Is that the one that was on April 19th?
Yes.
Shawnee 2023?
Yes. That was a doozy. And so it's a 30-minute drive to my place from there. And it took us an hour and a half to get back, trying to weave in and out of roads because, like, you know, cars and debris and stuff. Literally, the one road we were driving down, and it's like we were in a little car. I was with one of my uncles. He was doing this as well, doing the same classes, and so like we were driving this little car, and like at one point we're like, we can't get down this way. Something's blocking the road. As we get closer, we're like, that's literally a house in the road. There was a house just kind of toppled over, blocking the road.
Boom.
And so we're like, well, that's not going to work so well.
Did you take a picture? I hope you did.
I did. I don't think I have it anymore. And
memories.
And then, like, you know, some roads, there were massive trees and power lines all over the place. A lot of people were turning back on one of the roads, and we get up there and we're like, because their power line's down pretty low. We're like, we're in a little tiny car. I think it'll make it under it. And so it just cleared it by, you know, maybe a foot at best. But we're like, yeah, we're fine. So we went through this and just back and forth, in and out of stuff. Like, kind of checking to see, like, we didn't really have anything with us to be of much help, but kind of checking to see, like,
who you could help.
Like, if anybody needed anything. But for the most part, we didn't come across anybody who didn't, whatever. I mean, it was like trees. They're trying to, you know, clean up trees or, you know, blow back their houses, but nobody was like trapped in buildings or anything that we found.
Yeah.
So like none of that. Like obviously they probably could use a lot of help cleaning, but
yeah.
So yeah, like we worked our way back to the house, got back home, and the tornadoes had just missed the house as well by, I mean, maybe a quarter mile, half mile at best. And so I was on the fire department, so volunteer fire department, so we were running stuff all night. So as soon as we got back, we went out and we're helping on that stuff, and we're out late. And yeah, it was crazy. I was supposed to go in at 6 o'clock that next morning, 6 a.m., and do clinicals on an ambulance.
Ugh.
And
you did that all
my
night.
instructor was like, yeah. He's like, you can skip this one. He's like, things are going to be too chaotic because the REACT is the ambulance service out there. Their headquarters building got damaged. And hit. Like, it didn't take like a complete direct hit where it destroyed it, but I mean, like, it ripped off doors and like garage doors and everything, messed up several trucks.
Man.
It was chaos throughout that. They're on like, their building's like right by the airport, and the airport got directly hit. Some of the stuff's still destroyed.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw something today about the Shawnee Airport being like demolished or getting debris.
I'll say it
taken
was like,
out.
It was so, everything was so torn up.
Connection finally.
And so, he was just like, it's going to be too much. He's like, don't bother coming in. He's like, we'll reschedule it.
And you had a long night the night before, too. So.
And so, staying up all night trying to do that stuff. And it was crazy. Lots of fun.
Well, moral of the story is there are natural disasters everywhere. Live in a place where you can deal with it if you survive. Yep.
Well, I guess that'll be the end of this episode. Let us know if you have any similar, crazy natural disaster stories. Be it, earthquakes, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, fires, all that stuff, I'm sure I'm leaving out stuff.
Yeah.
But, and we will catch you in the next one. All right. Before we go, Ronald, what is your good advice?
That's my good advice. Don't be afraid to do reverse.
What is your good advice?
Don't be afraid to do the hard thing to get to the goal you need to get to.